to share over some words within regards to Daf Yomi. Friends, we're already on page Dalet, that's of Masechet Zevachim, page number 84, nothing like it, speaking over words within regards to korbanot, sacrifices, and all different spheres of importances here in Masechet Zevachim. Just doing a bit of shopping, Shabbat shalom, just going to grab a small copy at the moment as we are going to energize and give over a very interesting word within regards to Daf Yomi. Tidbit, friends, page 84. Now, the title we're actually using the notes of great Rabbi Adin Stein's house again. Different types of sacrificial blemishes. So that's something put upon that. Okay, yeah. So it's now we can just sit down for a minute and just share over some words of Torah. So we know that in yesterday's page of the Gemara, it was that on yesterday's daf we had learned about invalid korbanot sacrifices that somehow made their way to the altar. What was this? What's the terminology used? Ke'ivan she'alu shuv lo yerdu. Once they were elevated onto the altar, they cannot be brought down, and they will be sacrificed. Now, the Mishnah on today's page, or the Gemara, is going to clarify a ruling. Let's say limiting it in several ways. Now, according to the Mishnah, there's going to be problems with the sacrifice like being left overnight. That's one issue. It could become ritually defiled, or let's say have been taken out of the temple precincts in of itself. This will all invalidate the korban potentially. But if such an invalid korban were placed on the altar, it will be sacrificed. Among the problematic sacrifices that will be rejected, let's say among the problematic sacrifices that will be rejected, even if they were placed on the mizbeach, on the altar, are animals, which we spoke about, that have mumim. What's mumim? Mumim is physical blemishes. That's going to be problematic, very much so. Those that were used in idol worship ceremonies, avodah zarah, and those that were purchased with the profit of, God forbid, a prostitute or the sale of a dog. That we have to look over, like in chapter 23, verse number 19, within regards to that. So very, very interesting. So we're going to continue this tidbit just over here in a minute. Just before we continue about what we're talking about, we shouldn't do something that's ma'us in Hashem's eyes, and one of them is ma'us is something that's very much disgusting. One of that, it could be like, let's just say over here, the sale of using sale proceeds is something really, really bad, and something very, very wicked, let's just say, in of itself, towards let's say holy kodesh items in of itself, and that's very much what we could say from the the sale of those two different topics we've just mentioned about. That very much could be seen as zava. That could be seen as something very, very bad, potentially, over here, friends. So, very interesting. Anyone tuning in at the moment, welcome to our community. We explore a tidbit on the Daf Yomi every single day as we're just doing the Shabbat shopping also at the moment. So just sharing the word over here. So those prophets, as we see in the book of Devarim, one cannot respectfully use over here, but we can go on further over here. And the Gemara actually, Insight says, from Rabbi Adin Stein's house, that was Rabbi Shimon is going to explain the difference between these specific two categories. And neither list in the Mishnah is exhaustive. Now, by distinguishing as follows, this Kol Shepasulo Ba'Kodesh, HaKodesh but lo haya Pasulo Ba'Kodesh. Ein HaKodesh Mikablo. What is this? If its disqualification arose in the sanctuary will accept it. If its disqualification, let's just say, did not take place in the sanctuary, and the sanctuary will not accept it. Now, the great commentator, the rabbi, named Rashi, he's going to explain the statement in a simple fashion. If the sacrifice entered the Bet HaMikdash, the temple precincts, in pristine condition, the korban, the sacrifice, can be brought. If the problem existed even before the sacrifice entered the grounds of the Bet HaMikdash, even before it actually came to the Bet HaMikdash with this thing, and there was a problem with it, then it's disqualified entirely. So what stage we're looking at, did it become disqualified? If you're already in the Bet HaMikdash area, then something happens, you're already in that territory, so you brought it in with good faith and good intention. In his Panim Me'irot, the great Rabbi Meir Eisenstadt, he explains that over here. He explains Rashi, and he says that Rashi means that those disqualifying characteristics that only apply to an animal that is already sanctified can be ignored if the animal has already been placed on the altar. Those disqualifications that arise in any animal cannot be overlooked. However, so very interesting. We're going to actually see tomorrow's page of the Gemara in 85, just to give a sneak preview of what we can learn about a pasuk from Malachi, I believe, in chapter 1, number 8, where it says, "And if you offer a blind animal as sacrifice, is it not evil? And if you offer a lame or sick one, is that not evil? Offer it to your governor. Will he be pleased with it, or will he show you favor? Do you think he will do that or not?" That's a rhetorical question that we can learn about in tomorrow's page in Amud Aleph, respectively, over there. So very interesting that we're talking